Hello. So, the topic of today's presentation is what is self hypnosis? And honestly, it's a difficult question to answer. And why is that? It is because, just like in the case of hypnosis itself, self hypnosis is a subjective experience. Like things like love, hope, joy, you name it, our life, human life is a subjective experience in general. Is there one agreed upon definition of self hypnosis? Nope. But even though it is not possible to define it, we can still identify the three elements of most, if not all, self hypnotic experiences. Those are suggestion, imagination, and focus. Let's look at this lady. She's focusing internally. Her eyes are closed. She is imagining herself presenting and being applauded to, having a great time. And she's giving yourself a suggestion. I am strong and I'm capable. I am strong and I am capable. So all of those elements are present. And they come together for the one and only task of self hypnosis is to imagine, think, and feel along with the suggestions. And I didn't come up with it. That is from the book Strategic Self Hypnosis by Roger Strauss, PhD. Highly recommend this book. To imagine, think, and feel along with the suggestions is not new by any measure. We are constantly making meanings of our reality through the same device that we use in self hypnosis, through our inner self dialogue that we use to think, feel, and imagine. What we do in self hypnosis is that we learn how to use those processes intentionally by guiding them strategically to better our lives, of course. And the goal of self hypnosis is to create positive self fulfilling prophecies and leave them. And it's just one of many, but it's a good one to start with. Create positive self fulfilling prophecies and live them. And let me give you an example of how one and the same experience can be a negative self-fulfilling prophecy and it can be a positive self-fulfilling prophecy where depending on how we change the meaning of the situation, we can change its outcome. That's the idea. We can either create a positive self-fulfilling prophecy or a negative one by just choosing a different meaning for that. So let's see. Here we have two pictures with emotions in them on display. One of them is the girl being excited, and in the second picture, the lady is being anxious. And why I'm showing those two particular pictures and emotions to you is because a lot of times people are recommended, and I do it myself, and I recommend my clients to do as well, is to reframe anxiety as excitement. Why is that? Is it because nervousness and excitement are registered in our body in roughly the same fashion, but how we define those situations, what meaning we make out of them, nervousness versus excitement changes everything. We can create a negative self fulfilling prophecy if we label our state, our sensations as nervousness. Let's say you are at the meeting with a potential client. And if you define your sensations as nervousness, it gives it an open road to self critique. I should be done with feeling nervous already by now. And self doubt. If I feel nervous, must be fake. I must not deserve this. Blah, 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 blah. Doesn't really feel great. And let's see how the negative self fulfilling prophecy is in play here. You are so busy worrying about yourself, worrying that you cannot be present for that potential client 100%. That might sense it and end up not following you through to the next step of working with you. That will confirm your belief about your lack of competence. You have successful self sabotage yourself by creating the negative self fulfilling prophecy by what you think and imagine and feel. So the takeaway is here is that our stories and meanings that we create influence our mood. That mood influences our actions. That those actions impact our circumstances, and ultimately they create our destiny. Stories, meanings, mood, actions, circumstances, all the way to what you might call destiny. And what self hypnosis does is self hypnosis helps you establish positive meanings by creating a positive self fulfilling prophecy for you, by empowering you to choose an empowering story and meaning. Let's say you choose the meaning of your sensations to be excitement in that particular situation. Then you would come across as energetic and engaged. You would be present. Your energy and vibe would be inviting. And it's much more likely, even though it's not guaranteed, that your potential client will follow through with you to the next step. And by that, you would just have created a positive self fulfilling prophecy of your own competency. And it is because self hypnosis is actually a tool you can use on the spot in that very situation. It can be as simple as this: as you start noticing your nerves, you can take a deep breath, close your eyes it is appropriate. If you can, you focus inside, you imagine yourself having a great meeting, and then you give yourself a suggestion. I'm feeling so excited to see this client and work with them. And this is it. You take a moment and savor all the positive feeling this meeting generates. It will shift your mood for the better. It will calm you down. And all we did just now, it was made of focus, imagining, and suggestion. And why is self hypnosis is empowering? It is because, as you can see already, it invites you to take control of what you have control the most of. What are these things? But let's first think of what we can control the least: tangible circumstances and other people. While we indeed can influence them, ultimately what we can influence the most are our actions, what we are inclined to do, our responses, how we tend to react, our attitudes, orientation towards situations, oneself, or one's progress in life. So, our actions and responses and attitudes we can control the most. And let's say if you change your attitude about a certain situation that you're experiencing, a lot of times that's all we can do, meaning that you changing the story or belief behind it, then you can change your responses and your actions as a result of that change. You can then choose actions that will bring you closer to the result you are looking for. You can create better circumstances and destiny for yourself. And that brings us to the bottom line of what self hypnosis is. Self hypnosis is a tool to change our attitude, responses, and actions in a strategic way. Just chew on that one for a moment. And besides just chewing on this, I want to invite you to check out this video that I filmed where I guide you on how to cultivate self confidence with self hypnosis. And I'm going to link it in the description to this video below. And also, you can check out my website if you're like, okay, I'm ready to really learn it. And you have something very specific that you're working with, an issue and challenge, a strength that you want to develop. I have a special package of the 3 sessions right now on my website called Catalyzer, where I do teach you self hypnosis in the last session. And then we also have a call, it's a bonus call that we do couple of weeks after our last sessions where I check in with you about your progress and take all of your questions, and then we make your self hypnosis practice even more powerful so that you can maintain and improve upon all the great results that I'm sure you're going to achieve in those 3 sessions with me. And that's it. Self hypnosis, yo, it's great for you. It's a way to change our attitude, responses, and actions in a very strategic way. Thank you so much for being here. May your mindset will always be there for you. You have a choice how to direct it. You got this.